In this video, we'll briefly discuss how to quickly get started with the platform. After installation and launch, you'll see the authorization window. Here, you have only two options. The first option, if you've downloaded the platform for the first time, you probably don't have an account yet. To register for a demo account, which is currently available for 10 days, click the demo registration button. Here, you simply enter your email and click the registration button. You'll then receive a login and password via email, which you'll need to enter in the corresponding fields. If you already have an account, you just enter your username and password, which are remembered, so you don't need to enter them every time. In the login window, there are a couple more things: language selection and theme choice, either light or dark. Next, you click the connect button and enter the window with connectors. The connectors window usually raises the most questions. In reality, everything here is quite simple. On the left side, you choose the market type, such as Western Futures, Western Force, Binance, Bybit, and select the data source for these instruments. However, currently the platform has almost no implemented third-party connectors, so you simply select the SBPro connector for all market types. Then you click the Connect button. A chart opens up for you. Now we'll go over what needs to be done to increase volumes. This is essentially what the platform is designed for. It's worth mentioning that the platform has different types of volume displays. So let's start by looking at the first type of volume display. These are specifically cluster charts. You can choose the chart type from the menu at the top. Here you can see the main chart types available. In this case, we have candlesticks enabled. Let's change the candlesticks to, say, a regular cluster volume chart. You select the cluster volume chart and, as a result, you'll see that our display changes. Initially, you'll see the graph in this form without any visible numbers. Why is that? It's because the graph is significantly scaled down. Naturally, to see the contents of the clusters, you need to zoom in on the graph. You can do this in two ways, either by using the mouse wheel, which, as you can see, reveals the values, or you can separately adjust the axes, zooming in on both the x-axis and y-axis, which represent the timeline and price scale respectively. This way we can see the contents of each candle. Okay, we've covered that. Now let's look at the second type of volumes. These are vertical volumes. These are the most common vertical volumes found practically everywhere. So we go to the indicators. Once again, to access the indicators, you need to right-click, which will open a context menu where we select Indicators. On the left, we see a list. Here, the indicators are arranged by categories: horizontal volumes, vertical volumes, and other types of volume display. We're selecting vertical volumes and looking at the available indicators here. For instance, let's choose Total Volume. To add an indicator, you can simply double-click on it or hit the button at the bottom. As soon as we add the indicator, it appears immediately. On the right, you can see the indicator settings, but we won't go into those right now. All right, let's close the indicators window. What can we do with the vertical volume field? We can drag the line to increase the scale of the indicator display. What other type of volumes can we use? Let's go back to the indicator and enable the horizontal volume, specifically the volume profile. After enabling it, we can see a histogram of the horizontal volume on the right. Okay, now let's set the current day on the chart. How do we do that? For example, let's set it to May 31st. At the top, we have a date selection option. What does this mean? It means the chart will only display data for the days you've selected. So in this case, we're looking at the period from May 26th to June 2nd. Let's say we want to focus on a specific day. For example, May 31st. We select this day, so both the start and end date should be set to the 31st. To apply any changes we make, we need to click the Apply button at the top. If your platform is set to Russian, it might be labeled differently. Alternatively, you can right-click to open the context menu and select Apply from there. Now we can see that the graph is displaying data only for May 31st. Here, we can clearly see three types of volume representation. First, there's the cluster chart itself, which we initially selected. Then we have the vertical volume on the right and the horizontal volume on the left. The volume in the cluster chart shows us at what prices and what volume of trades occurred within each bar or candlestick. The highest volume within each candlestick is highlighted in red. This indicates that at this price level, more money was traded in the market compared to other levels. These levels are also known as the point of control. Alternatively, the maximum volume is highlighted by default in red in each bar. The vertical volume at the bottom shows the total number of contracts or coins if you've selected a cryptocurrency, and you can see in which bar the bulk volume occurred. The horizontal volume on the left shows us, similar to a cluster chart, what volumes were traded at different price levels during the selected time period. In this case, we're looking at one day, May 31st. We can see the volume distribution from the highest to the lowest price across the entire range for that day, showing exactly how much volume was traded at each price point. And of course, we have a level with the maximum volume. As we already know, it's called the point of control, or POC for short. It's at this price that the maximum amount of money was traded for that day, or for the period selected on our chart. That's how you can quickly enable the most basic, essential volume indicators in just 5 minutes.